We're more than halfway through 2025. AI is not on the horizon, it's everywhere. People's attention span, tiny. China. Sorry. But tools are evolving. Your software is probably different. The way that you're functioning is probably a little bit different. People bounce fast. People expect fast. And the businesses that are winning in this modern era, they're not the flashiest. They just have tight systems, clean call to actions, clear delivery systems. So here's my question to you. What is worth focusing on right now? If you're running a business and you find yourself being pulled in different directions, testing new tools, trying out different campaigns, not knowing exactly what to work on, what to focus on, this video is for you. I'm gonna walk you through what real focus looks like in your business in 2025, pulling some information from this book that I read, Deep Work and Atomic Habits. I'm sure people have heard of these by now. And how to focus on systems that actually push your business forward. When we talk about focus in business, people think it's just about narrowing your offer, right? But it's deeper than that. It's about understanding very well what is driving your business forward and then building systems to support that specific action. The businesses that are winning right now are not concerned with trends. They're designing their business to have a flow state. Cal Newport calls it deep work, right? It's the ability to focus on high value tasks without distraction. And it's not just for writers or developers or people that need this space of hours to just focus in. It's for founders, for operators, for people that need to make decisions, people that need to zone in on something. And that zone, in another book, is ironically called flow, right? It's the space where your skills and your challenge match up and you become fully immersed in that work. And that's when things click. When your team hits this flow state, or when you hit that flow state, whether it's in content or the back-end operations or client work, decisions are sharper. Work gets done faster and you stop losing time on busy work and things that just consistently switch your brain from left and right. That's the business focus that I'm talking about. It's not just narrowing down to one specific thing. It's about building systems that support your deep work and your focus on the tasks that move the needle. Let's break this down a little bit more. Businesses fall into one of four categories, but you might find that some of your business operations fall into more than one category, and that's completely fine. But growth usually comes with leading with the one that is bringing the most momentum. So let's go through them. Number one is the service and support businesses. These are relationship-driven operations, right? One-on-one services, long-term clients, project-based work. In this type of business, you are selling your trust as much as you're selling the outcome. And the bottleneck here isn't necessarily the delivery of the service or the marketing, it's the flow of how you operate. In this type of business, if you have leads coming in and your follow-up feels really manual and clunky, your onboarding is scattered, your tasks are getting lost, this is the place where you need to focus. You need systems to protect your client's momentum. Think about it. If somebody pays you, signs a contract, gives you your money, and then waits 3 days to hear what the next steps are, you're losing points with them. So for a service and support type business, this is a baseline tech stack that you should focus on if you don't have, or refine if you do have, right? We're talking about a CRM that captures your leads and kicks off an immediate sequence. Number two, a very clear and simple onboarding flow. A intake form, a scheduling link, a welcome packet, an explainer video, whatever fits your process. And number three, some kind of system that is tracking the active phases of a project or of a specific service delivery. That is the basic. If those are not in place, you need to really think about that. If they're a little bit funky, you need to zone in on that. This is the type of business that lives and dies by the way that the client interacts with you, right? So you want to make sure that these baseline, best practices are taken care of. Now that's just the floor. If you want to go above and beyond, here's what you can add. Number one, automated scheduling that is tied to project milestones. Let's say that you press check mark on a specific project that happens. You can create an automated email that summarizes that project, right? And sends an update to the client. Number two, AI call summaries. Now this is something that I do in almost every single one of my client calls. I have Firefly's AI that is basically taking notes on every call that I have with my clients. That AI then summarizes the call and gives me the next steps, right? So you can create an automated sequence where those notes and next steps are being sent to the client immediately, right? Clear communication. This is the focus. We're gonna leave it there because there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of ways that different people like to communicate with their clients, right? But you basically understand what I'm saying. The idea here is communication, where you have a flow, you have a system, right? Your clients are understanding exactly what part of the process they're in, what to expect, what they're looking forward to. This is the area of focus for service and support type businesses. It's not about being flashy, it's about being predictable. And predictability builds trust. When your delivery feels predictable and effortless on the client side, you don't just increase client retention, you get referred and you free up your hours. And maybe most importantly, you free your mind and your business from this constant stress of like, who needs something from me right now? What client needs what right now? If this is your situation right now, lock in. Before social media ads, before scaling content creation, fix your delivery engine and everything gets easier. Second, we're gonna talk about the type of businesses that rely on visibility and local discovery. These are the businesses where geography really matters, right? They're not focused on global reach, they're not focused on virality, they're focused on walking traffic, right? Being known on the block and being trusted. Think clinics, wellness centers, trades, barbershops, restaurants, you get the point. For these businesses, or for you, your presence is your power. It doesn't matter how good you are if people in your area can't find you. And the big issue that I'm seeing, honestly, across the world, right, is that business owners treat their online visibility as a one-time setup. But local discovery is ongoing, it's consistent, it's active, right? And Google is consistently shuffling who should be up there and who we just don't want to look at them anymore. So let's talk about that floor, that baseline stack. Number one, and if I could put it higher than number one, I would, is your Google business profile. You need photos on there. Videos would be a fantastic addition, but you definitely just need at least some solid, high quality photos. On top of that, you want to make sure that your hours are updated. And reviews. Reviews are huge. Reviews are one of the main things that Google uses to, shuffle that stack. Number two, a website that is mobile optimized, because people aren't walking around with their laptops looking for the closest restaurant or a barbershop, that loads fast, right? And it gives people exactly what they're looking for in 10 seconds or less. Simple. And number three, an online booking system, right? Something where you can collect their information. No dead forms that are hidden in the last page, and call us as the only option. From there, if you feel like we got all of that covered, we're solid, you can go a little bit deeper. We're talking about Google ads, right? Google search ads, meta ads, something to really target the local region and show up as soon as people are even speaking about the thing, right? Sometimes someone talks about a barbershop. If you have a good ad and you're in their region, Meta will hear them talking about it and show your ad. Number two, and this is really cool, you can set up an automated review request, right? You have their information because they came in for a visit or you did a job for them. As soon as that job is finished, you can automatically send them a link and say, hey, please leave us a review. Don't leave it up to chance. And number three, and this is really good, is setting up a referral campaign. Someone comes to you locally, chances are they live locally and they have friends that are local. Reviews are huge for local businesses. So if you set up an automated SMS campaign or an email campaign saying, tell your friends, and here is a bonus or something, 15% off that we can give you, that can be huge for you. Again, the focus about visibility and local discovery businesses is about being findable, obviously, and removing friction and making it easy to choose you. If somebody is Googling your service, right, and they can't find you on maps, there aren't any photos of your business, they can't book online, right, there aren't any good reviews, they're gonna move on. So if you're in this bucket, focus on visibility systems first, right? We're not talking about reach, we're talking about trust, speed, and ease. If you nail those, word of mouth will naturally work for you. Now, the third type of business we're going to talk about is the volume and funnel type of business. The ones that are running campaigns, focusing on conversions, pulling in as many leads as they possibly can. Think e-commerce, digital products, subscriptions, memberships, that sort of thing. These are the sort of businesses that are not focused on the depth of interaction with the client, but rather on the flow of the interaction with the client, right? They find you, they learn about you, and then they make a decision about you. Lead flow, retention flow, conversion flow, these all have numbers associated to it. And if you're not tracking those numbers, that's where you gotta focus. You can't just hope that people are gonna buy. You need to understand what is working, what campaigns need to be fixed, and where you just gotta fix the leaks in the system. Now let's talk about the baseline digital stack for this type of business. Something that you must have or you must fix if it's a little bit funky. The first is a funnel, an awesome funnel. A funnel that has a lead hook to grab their attention, some landing page that explains exactly who you are, and something to grab their information and sort of put them in a flow. Leading on from that point, the number two baseline is a CRM, a centralized database where all of your lead information is living, right? And in that place, you'll be able to see where they came from, what stage they're in, and what potential next steps or campaigns you can plug that individual into. And building off of that is number 3, an email or SMS automation that is triggered by actions, right? Where that person is in a specific funnel and not necessarily just triggered by a time-based blast to everybody at the same time. If you have those, you're in solid shape. Fix them, focus in on them. And then if you want to go to the next level, you can do something like a behavioral personalization, right? Where you're sending them a very specific message based on a web page that they clicked of a specific product. Another thing that you can do is a dashboard, right? That centralizes all of your numbers, right? This is a huge one for this type of business. To be able to see how your social media ads are doing, next to how your Google ads are doing, next to your website traffic, next to the actual interactions people are having with you via email or SMS, in one centralized place will make your decision making so much easier. You'll be able to see in an integrated way how things are going, how your campaigns are doing. Is this campaign actually leading to improving the bottom line or not, right? This is the sort of information that you should have at your disposal. And the key here isn't just adding more tools, right? It's about connecting everything in one place. Again, if this is your type of business, your focus should be on the conversions, right? The numbers themselves. You don't need 10,000 more leads, right? You need to fix the leads that are already coming in and leaking out of the bucket. If you have social media ads going out and you think they're doing great, but in reality, 3 of them are not doing anything and 1 of them is doing great, this is an issue for you. If you have a funnel that's bringing a lot of leads to a specific landing page, but that landing page is a little bit confusing, you're not necessarily understanding how the headline is affecting the conversion rate, these are little details that you need to get right. Once your funnel is working with 100 leads, then scaling to 1,000 leads is a piece of cake. It's going to be amazing for you. The last kind of business that I've categorized here is the content and relationship type business. This is your type of business if your growth is focused on sharing, educating, and showing up in front of your community consistently. Think creators or creatives, educators, consultants, experts in a very niche category, anyone that is trying to build trust at scale. Now, your product might be content itself, or it might just be powered by content. But either way, your focus is on consistency and connection. Now, the challenge in this type of business isn't necessarily about what content should I talk about, what should I post. It's about being visible without burning out in the process. Now, let's talk about that baseline, right? You should at least work on refining, number 1, a cadence of posting content. Now, that's easier said than done, but we're just talking about even 1 solid post per week. Just 1, right? That alone is a cadence. That's your baseline. We're only talking about the bare minimums at this point, right? 1 solid post per week, cadence of content. Number 2 is some kind of workflow that repurposes your content, right? A really big buzzword in this industry is evergreen content, right? The sort of content that lives forever, that can be plugged into specific different types of operations, right? Let's say somebody is interested in a specific offering that you have, you should have a video tied to that. If somebody submits a form, you should send them that specific video that explains exactly that type of information that you want to educate them on, right? So number 2 is a type of workflow that repurposes your content. And number 3 is a lead magnet that connects to a CRM and that kicks off a welcome sequence, right? Say, here are my 10 free tips of this, or here is a worksheet for you to work on, or here is 3 videos that can introduce something that captures their attention, right? That you can get their information from them and that you could onboard them in a specific way to your brand. Those 3 right there is a very solid layer of consistency. Now, if you want to add depth, you can create specifically evergreen content. Now, this is different from repurposing the content so that it can live forever. This is creating a course, for example, right? Something that can work while you sleep. Another opportunity to add depth to this is an automated DM. There are a lot of ways, especially on social media, where if somebody comments a specific thing, or somebody DMs you a specific thing, or even if somebody follows you, you can automatically DM them, right? So the idea is that you turn that connection into a conversation. And the third layer of depth that you can add is a simple dashboard to understand where your business is being fueled, right? Is it this piece of evergreen content that is bringing in the most leads? or is it that PDF that you have for free download? What you're really building here is a chance to scale your trust. But to be able to do that on a long-term basis, your content cannot be chaotic. The social media world will eat you up. It has to be systemized enough for it to be scalable and for it to be sustainable. When you clean up your workflow and you automate specific bottlenecks in your process, then your ideas and your thoughts, they don't become this burden. So if content is driving your growth, then you need systems to protect your energy. And that's what's gonna keep you in motion. So we just covered 4 types of businesses, right? Service and support businesses, the visibility and local discovery businesses, the volume and funnel businesses, and the content businesses. Now let's bring it home, right? Because it's not enough to just know that I fall into one of these categories. It's about focusing within each category. What is driving my business here? So we're gonna get practical right now. Thank you for watching this far. I want you to pause this video now and go grab something to write on. It could even just be your phone. I'll wait. All right, great. Now answer these questions. Number 1, and answer honestly. Where do your leads come from? Where do your clients come from? Look at your last 10, or let's say 5 clients, right? Where did they actually come from? Were they walk-ins? Was it ads? Was it social media? Maybe they were referrals. Answer honestly, your last 5 clients, how did they come to your business? Number 2, how are you tracking these leads and following up with them? Do you have a list somewhere? Where does that list exist? Or are you not tracking them and they're just kind of slipping and you have to kind of, patch them together into one area? Think about it. Number 3, what tools in your system feel clunky or they're just slowing you down in a way? If you don't know, ask your team. Or look at what you're avoiding. That specific friction, that's stealing your focus. Number 4, what tasks are you repeating manually? Again, think about the last 5 clients that came. What did you do to all 5 of them that you repeated that could potentially be automated? Number 5, if there was one thing that you can do in your business right now to remove the most friction compared to the other things that you can do, what would that one thing be? Don't overthink it. There's usually a really clear answer. This is not that deep. Very quickly, what's coming to your head? Number 6, where is your momentum dropping? Is it in reach, actually finding people? Is it in delivery? Is it onboarding that's slow? Are your follow-ups weak? Wherever the energy of your business dips, that's where your focus needs to go. These questions, they're not theoretical, philosophical, something to just get the brain juices flowing. These are diagnostic tools. If you walk through these 6 questions honestly, they're gonna point to where your next system needs to go. And likely there's 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 areas that you really need to fix first. Because most businesses, they're not broken. They're just distracted. Nowadays, we're just juggling so many trends and opportunities and tools and systems, and people are telling us do this and try this and do that. But the truth, focus is the most expensive asset that you have right now. Every one of these distractions is coming at the cost of your business's growth. And Cal Newport talks about it in Deep Work. Every time you're shifting focus mid-project, or you're checking a notification, or you're responding to an email in the middle of doing something else, this is losing momentum. And this is not just in the moment, this is long-term momentum. Workflow is fragile, especially nowadays. We're extremely distracted people. Too much noise, little structure, and no clear goals breaks your flow. And this is why system design extremely matters right now. Not because it's trendy, but because your brain literally will not work when it's inundated with text messages and notifications and trying to guess what to do next. You don't need more apps. You need fewer distractions. You need to zone in on what is actually pushing your business forward and completely focus your energy on that thing. When you get that thing right, then there are other things you can add on to just slowly, continuously grow. But that 80% of growth is going to come from a specific focus, right? Find that focus and lock in. If this helped you at all, find any kind of business focus, drop a comment. I mean, if you've watched this far, then hopefully there was something here, and that was the whole point. Share this with somebody that might be stuck. And if you need help diagnosing where you need to actually focus in on your business, this is what we're here for. Reach out, we're happy to talk. We have a beautiful team, deep expertise in a lot of different topics when it comes to digital operations and digital marketing. You don't have to duct tape it all yourself. Simple, clean, aligned systems, that's our focus. See you in the next video.